Alright guys, today we have a banger of a video today. Alright, so right now there's a huge problem going on with scalpers, alright? And if you don't know what a scalper is a person that would take an item that is in high demand and then resell it for a higher price. And that's what's going on with the new Xbox and PlayStation. Today, I actually will go out and expose several scalpers and their methods. And actually, some of them are really dumb. You're going to see in a minute. And the next is I will be responding to a video from a person defending scalpers, saying, oh, it's okay to scalpel and stuff. So we're going to be responding to a video as well. But before we can do all that stuff, I have to say one thing. I do not encourage or condone the use of harassment in this video. Please do not go track down these individuals and harass them. Instead, what I want you to do is I don't want you to buy anything from these scalpers. They're going to either scam you or give you a high price, which I will talk about in a little bit. The best way to counteract these scalpers is not to buy anything else, alright? Do not buy anything from them, alright? It's a lot funnier for the scalpers to realize that they have a bunch of these consoles, but they can't get rid of them. They'll end up wasting a lot of their money, and that will discourage them from actually doing this practice again in the near future when the next consoles come out. I also encourage you to relay this information to your parents, your friends, your family, or anyone else who is in the gaming niche or is gaming and stuff, or even in the shoe market, alright? I know that this is a common practice when it comes to shoes as well, and concert tickets, but yeah. But first, we're going to actually talk about what scalping is. Scalping is where you take an item that is in high demand, or it's a limited edition item, and you buy it for a certain amount of price at the retailer, and then you buy a bunch of it, and then you resell it at a higher price. So for the new Xboxes, alright, someone would be selling the new Xbox and it's originally like $500. Someone would sell it for like $1,000 or even $2,000, alright, and they will make money off of the new console, alright. Meanwhile, they keep one of the consoles and stuff, and that's how that usually works, and that's how they make money off of this. They also did it through shoes and all that stuff. You may be asking, but Joey, how do they get the consoles? That's a good question. How they get the consoles and all this stuff is they use bots, dude, alright? This is how the bots work, alright? And there's actually people that admitted that they actually use bots. Yes, you heard me right. There are people who admitted that they use bots. We're going to get to that in a little bit. So, they have these bots, and the companies or whatever will usually post out a link, or the bot figures out, oh, when Xboxes or PlayStations go live, and they'll buy as much. So these bots will go to the buy page and buy as many Xboxes/PlayStations as possible, and then that gets shipped to the facility, and then they can resell them. Most of the time, they don't actually sell the console. They would actually like scam you, which is kind of a bigger threat as well. Like, not also you're wasting a lot of money, but you are also getting scammed, dude. Like, it's absolutely unacceptable and very pathetic on what these people do and all that stuff. Recently, a man got robbed. Some guy tweeted out saying "F your feelings," and said that he showed up prices for the consoles, which were very expensive. And the guy had like 30 of these consoles, dude, alright? Let me tell you, alright? And what happened is this guy got doxxed and he got robbed. And to be 100% honest, I don't really feel bad for the guy that got doxxed and robbed, because you kind of deserved it. Personally, would I be doxing and robbing people? No, absolutely not. I have better morals than that. But do I honestly feel bad for the scambler or whatever they're called? No, dude, I don't feel bad, alright? I don't. Recently, one of the companies, which is whatever that is, that's the Facebook page of it. This is the company that actually makes the bots, and they recently got in trouble, and they posted this. I'm not going to say the whole thing, but I'm going to say a part of it. Some form of disadvantage. Some people I'm going to say most redundant, or at least some form of disadvantage due to the pandemic. These people have managed to cover the bills, put food on the table, and supply Christmas presents to their children. It may be unfortunate that a child won't wake up to a PS5 this Christmas, but another child has been woken up to nothing. We have no regrets. This is absolutely unacceptable. So this is a scalper saying all this stuff. So if you don't know what that means that they are saying, yes, what we're doing is that, yeah, we're doing everything that we're being accused of. No, we're not defending ourselves. We're doing this. Like, they're also saying, oh, well, because of all this stuff, we're making money. We can put food on the table. We can, steal another PS5 and give it to our children, which is absolutely messed up and very effed up, dude. Like, seriously. Like, why do you have to make money off of there? There's a lot of other ways where you can make money. Not through here, alright, dude? It's called actually getting a job. Like, go work at McDonald's or something. Do not resell consoles. Honestly, this stuff should be illegal, but it isn't. And it probably will be illegal in the near future. Like, give it another 10 or 20 years, this stuff will be illegal, which will be great. Alright, I really hope that someone who does the laws in the United States, I'm not sure, probably someone at Congress. Well, not Congress. Well, someone at the 3 branches. Hope someone's a gamer there and they get upset and get pissed off and make a lot out of it. I don't know. But a little bit off topic. They should make this illegal, which it isn't. So a lot of people are legally allowed to do this, which is a little bit sad. But the fact that you're buying a bunch of consoles and reselling them for a higher price, like, honestly, do you want to hear something sad? My parents came up to me and said, "Hey, Joey, I know you want the new Xbox, but I don't think we're gonna get it. I don't think we can get it for you for Christmas." And my parents they usually surprise me. Like, they don't go out and tell me this stuff usually, but they said that they try to buy me the new Xbox or the new PlayStation, but they can't find any. They looked online, but they see scalpers everywhere trying to sell them. That is upset. That's really sad. Like, I could have gotten a new Xbox or the new PlayStation, guys, but these scalpers had to come in and buy a bunch of them and do all this stuff, which is sad. My dad found one on eBay for $10,000, dude. Which me and him joked around saying, "Oh yeah, you're gonna buy me a $10,000 Xbox," but no, this is absolutely upsetting. Like, it's super sad that you have to steal Christmas presents. Like, technically, this is stealing from little kids who are doing this stuff. Yes, times are rough, dude. But seriously, is it really worth stealing an Xbox? This is absolutely unacceptable, dude. Honestly, I'm so glad that this company, I really hope this company gets shut down, alright? And no one uses it. Well, there are going to be people using this, but I hope this gets outlawed soon, because this is upsetting, very upsetting. But, so that's that part done. And now I actually messaged some scalpers on Twitter. So I went on Twitter and I was like, I wonder if I can see if there's anybody that I want to see if anyone's selling PlayStations and Xboxes on Twitter. So we go on Twitter and I discovered a lot of people. And the first one I see is this tweet right here. And it's made by this Zing person. And he said, "Still have some Xbox Series X's and S's for sale. $900 for the Series X and $500 for the Series S." And I replied back saying, "People like this disgust me. They use bots to buy as many Xboxes and PlayStations as possible. Then they resell them at a higher price. Please do not buy anything from these people. It's more funny to let them realize that they wasted a bunch of money." The funny thing is, the guy ended up blocking me because he knew that he was guilty. I also made another tweet. That's the other tweet. And he also made this tweet as well. And I took it to another step. And I actually went on an old account. And I actually messaged a bunch of a bunch of people that are selling PlayStations. And this is what I got. So we have this guy by the name of Bad Habits. And I said, "Bro, I'm interested in the PS5. And he said, "I am selling for $650. And I said, "Great. Quick question. Why are you selling it at a high price compared to retailers?" And he replied back saying, because the demand without the product being high raises the price. Which is upsetting, because the reason the price is high is it's because of this person right here named Bad Habits. I replied back saying, "Makes sense. How many consoles do you own?" And he told me that he has 5. Which is not a lot compared to some people. Some people have like 3,000 consoles. Like, I'm not even joking, dude. And I replied back saying, "Cool. how do you got 5 consoles? And he said, camping out. And I replied back saying, and the employees didn't say anything about you buying 5 consoles? Then he replied back saying, I have my friends at different stores. I replied back saying, oh, okay. Another question, how am I going to pay you? And then we talked about how the prices go. Then I told him I was going to leave and I was going to pay him tomorrow and we can get it tomorrow. The next guy is, I'm not going to try to pronounce that, but that's the next guy. And I say the same thing. Yo, I'm interested in the PS5. And he said, yo, what's good? Where are you located at? Obviously, I live in Idaho, but I didn't want to say that. So I said Ohio. Idaho, Ohio. Makes sense, right? And he said, you looking for digital? I want $550 for the digital and $560 shipped. Which is, keep in mind, guys, the X is $500. Just $500, not $550. And he's selling it for, he's selling the S for $550. Not the S. This is like the PS5, but you get it. He replied back saying, if you're fine with shipping from Atlanta, it's 3 to 5 days, comes with tracking and receipt. And I replied back saying, oh, okay, quick question. Why such the high price? Retailers are selling it that a little cheaper. And he said, I just want to make a little profit off of it. Which this guy just admitted that he actually is trying to make he's trying to make money off the whole situation. Just saying, he just 100% admitted that. Next, I say, alright, that makes sense. Quick question, how many consoles do you have? And he said, I have 1 disc and 1 digital left. And I replied back saying, great, how do you get them? Well, how did you get them? Sold out? They sold out pretty quick. And he said bots. So this guy admitted that he uses bots, dude, alright? Which is absolutely upsetting. And I replied back saying, wouldn't that be considered scaling, though? And he replied back saying, not really, because they allow it. They haven't tried to stop it. Which, to be fair, he does have a point. They haven't really tried to stop it. For some reason, I don't know why retailers, I don't know. Maybe if you go into GameStop and try to buy 500 consoles, they might stop you and have something to say about that. But online, you can buy as much consoles as much as possible. What I don't understand is that there's some people out here that are, that Xbox and PlayStation are letting you buy as much consoles as possible, even though that they know about this scandaling stuff, scalping stuff, and they haven't tried anything about it. Maybe they're working on a solution right now, or they think that it's not that big of a deal, so they're not worried about it. I don't know the exact reason, but you can buy as much consoles as much as you possibly can, which is upsetting and a little bit damaging to the company, because I can't buy a new PlayStation. And then after that, we talked about location, and once again I didn't get much. Next person is actually a girl, which is a little bit surprising. I didn't expect females to be actually selling PlayStations, but I was interested, so I say the same thing. And the first thing that she replies back saying, hey, I'm taking Cash App. I can deliver today before post office closes. Where are you located? Once again, I say Ohio, and I ask how much for the consoles. And she said, okay, I'm in New York and I can ship $450. Digital or disc? Digital. I want $480, but we can do $450. So she's doing a little bit of negotiating there, because I know a little bit of negotiating. She's trying to negotiate, which is okay. Which is doing great. Next, she says if it helps, we can do it half payments now, and we can half payments later, and all that stuff. I'm not gonna read that whole thing, but I said, yeah, that works. But why such the high price? Retailers are selling it a little cheaper. She replies back saying, well, I did want to make some profit considering that they're hard to get right now, and I bought for my ex, but he's an idiot, so I'm just gonna sell 400 in the lowest I can go, but I want to at least 270. I don't want to get scammed out of my console, and you get to block me out after receiving. Which makes sense, but what she's doing is, they'll get gone a little bit more, but she actually just continued doing stuff. But all she's doing is that I can't believe there's actually females trying to do this stuff, and it's just a little crazy. So, once again, do not harass these people. But now we're going to actually respond to a video now of people actually replying back to Scamblers or whatever they're called. So yeah, let's go and react to that video real quick. Okay, so keep in mind that this guy's YouTube channel is called The Entrepreneur. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce stuff. But this is kind of a tech channel, and it's about teaching people on how they could, like, make money through alternative ways and stuff. I don't know. And he has stuff about tech and news. A little bit of politics, maybe. Well, no, that's just him graduating Joe Biden. Okay. But no beef with this guy. There's only one video I'm talking about, and that's his PS5 and Xbox scandalers are not the problem. I have an issue with that video. I took a look at it, and I disagree with a lot of the stuff that he said in this video, and I'll be personally responding back to most of the stuff. Most of the video, like half the video, is just him explaining what it is, and the other half is him explaining why it's not that big of a deal. So I guess we should get into it.
Now, I'm sure some of you are watching this right now and saying, like, okay, Kevin, you're an idiot. I'm going to unsubscribe right now. Hear me out. Hear me out. What is my channel called? My channel is called The Entrepreneur. It got started because I was doing DoorDash and Uber, and I decided to help people with the hustle. The whole point of my channel is to encourage people to try to make money on their own terms without having to get a real job if you can, or if you have to get a real job, do something to make a little extra money. And I have to say, with the way the market currently is working right now, as an entrepreneur, if you can get a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X, it is very much worth your while to sell it, make double if not triple your money back, and you can buy the system next year when it's in plenty of stock, and someone else will have essentially bought you your console.
Okay, so first of all, I really like the concept of your YouTube channel where you give out tips for like people who do Uber and the DoorDash stuff. I really like the concept, but I can't think of the word. Scandaling? I can't remember the word. You know the word. You know the word. Sorry, I'm acting like Joe Biden over here. Nothing wrong about that, by the way. The thing with that is that's one console, dude, alright? Let's imagine a world where the PS5 isn't being sold out everywhere and everyone can get them and there's no scandalers or whatever selling them. Alright, if you buy one PS5 console just on the terms that you're gonna sell it to make twice or third times the price, that no one's gonna buy that console because, you know, that's fine. But the problem is a bunch of these people bought a lot of these consoles and they're not in the market anymore, and now they're selling them for twice the price. Do you see the issue now? Like, yeah, it's not as bad as buying one console and selling it. I'm talking about the people who buy a bunch of it, alright? And reselling it, okay? Honestly, people who do this type of stuff, I have more respect if they sell it for $10 or $20 over the limit. Because, yeah, you can get some profit. I have way more respect for those people than people that sell a console for $3,000 or something crazy.
For people with entrepreneurial spirits out there, this makes a lot of sense. And even though it sounds like it's a crummy thing to do, to write a bunch of bots and have like a group together and buy thousands upon thousands of PS5 and Xbox Series X units, yeah, that's happened. I understand that that's frustrating to hear, but that is not the scalpers' fault. They are just trying to make money. They have found a way to make money, and I don't think anyone should be criticized for that.
So let's use this guy's logic against him, alright? Let's say, you know what, robbing people is a crummy thing to do, and no one should be criticized for it. So I have no money, I can't make money, so I own a gun, so I'm gonna go out and rob a 7-Eleven so I can make money, and no one should be criticized for that, alright? That's, alright, let's say that, dude, alright? That's your own logic against you, alright?
In my opinion, there's a few people to blame for the scalping problem, and the number one choice might surprise you, but I blame these individuals more than, say, the scalpers themselves. The first company that I blame is, of course, Microsoft and Sony themselves. I'm leaving Nintendo out of this because we all know that Nintendo purposefully undershorts their product, so they kind of get a pass. But Microsoft and Sony have been through a few generations of consoles, and it's always the same thing. They release a system, they don't have nearly enough units to meet the demand, it sells out for months on end, and then later on the next year, anyone can get it, and it creates a bidding war on eBay for people who really want it, who can't get it. The reason I blame them first is because, you know what? The development cycle is always the same. They design the system, they get it ready, and then they start building it not too early before the launch, and then they sell all of their inventory, and it's sold out in one day. The first time this happened, understandable. The Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, the demand was way higher than anyone expected. But here's the thing. They've been down this road a few times. They know what the demand is like. They usually know that, 50,000 units or 500,000 units or whatever it is not enough to meet demand. And they should be planning for at least a couple million units. And if that's what they're doing right now, they need to plan for more. They need to know that whatever they sell out at launch, they need to have more available at the launch than that. And yeah, there might...
Alright, so I kind of have to agree with the entrepreneur or whatever this guy is. I think it's Kevin. I don't know. I forget stuff a lot. But I have to kind of agree with him at this part of his video. I kind of agree. I agree with the part he said, the companies need to do better at preventing this. I 100% agree, alright? They need to have better security when it comes against bots or people who are planning on doing this. Like, maybe you're not allowed to have more than one console, and that goes for the same for online stores. Maybe they should have, like, not a robot captions there, prevent all that stuff. But one thing I don't agree with is him saying, was it again? He's saying that PlayStation and Microsoft should have made a lot more consoles, and that's the reason there is, scarcity coming to these consoles, and that's why there's all these people doing all that stuff. And my response is that PlayStation actually made a lot more PS5s and PS4s at the beginning of its life cycle, alright? PlayStation announced that they made more consoles that they have ever made at the start of a new session or whatever. And it's a little crazy thinking that we have all this scarcity stuff, right? And all that. Meanwhile, you have, like, people with warehouses with 3,000 PlayStations, close to 4,000 PlayStations, and you have a lot of people doing all this stuff with bots, and they're all sold out everywhere, even though PlayStation came out and said, we made a lot more at the beginning than PS4 and PS3 combined or something crazy. Like, honestly, it feels like the PlayStation did make more consoles, but it seems like people kept buying them. Isn't that a little strange? Maybe they're reselling those consoles for a higher price.
Still be a shortage, but if you make more product available at the launch, then the chances of that selling out faster is a little bit slimmer. I also blame the retailers who have websites that are not designed to catch these bots. And here's the thing, the retailers typically do not care where these systems are sold. They just want to sell them. They're not making a lot of money off these machines, and they want to get them out of the warehouse as fast as possible. Still, if they truly cared about this being like a fair thing, maybe for like the new systems, they wouldn't make it be an online thing. Maybe they would, say you have to be in store, and that way you can guarantee that individual people are getting their systems, and then whatever is left over after the launch, then you can put those online.
Okay, right there, I 100% agree, alright? We need a system similar to that, so Scalpers won't be able to do that, but his other points are still dog crap, alright?
Sony and the retailers, they are not the biggest problem of this. The biggest problem with this are the gamers themselves. Yes, I know. It is sacrilegious to suggest that the consumer is the bad guy here. But when you stop and think about it, that is exactly what it is, and it makes perfect sense on how this problem can stop. When I watch videos like Dreamcast Guy and Review Tech USA, they use phrases and words like desperate gamer or hungry gamers who want a new machine. Gamers who will do anything for a system, and maybe that's the problem. If the desire that they would do anything for that game console was not there, there would not be a business in scalping these machines, and thus the problem would go away. And I don't care who you are, you do not need to be desperate for a PlayStation 5. You do not need to be desperate for an Xbox Series X. You do not have to be desperate for something that will be on the market for the next 5 to 10 years in plentiful supply. And yet these people, because they just can't wait a few months, there's just something about waiting that few extra months that just drives them crazy for some reason. They go to a scalper and they pay an inflated price. Dreamcast Guy said that he has got contacts from people who said that they saved their money, they ate nothing but ramen to save up for the PlayStation 5, and now they can't get one. And my advice to them is, okay, save the money. You don't have to spend that money. It's not burning a hole in your pocket. Save that money, and then when it's on the store shelves, buy it at that point, because you will have the money and everything will be fine. You just got to wait till like March or April.
So once again, I have to agree with this guy again. However, there are some stuff I disagree with, alright? So I'm kind of split with his decision and my own decision, alright? First of all, he's absolutely correct. It's better to wait a few months to buy this console. But the thing is that right now it's November and almost December. Do you know what is in December? Christmas, alright? Parents want to buy Christmas presents, and the best time to buy a console for your kid is usually around their birthday or Christmas time. And these scalpers are taking advantage of that and hogging all these consoles. And there's rumors that they're not going to make a lot more consoles until spring. And I know this guy was talking about waiting until April or March. But this is Christmas. This is the best time to get a console, dude. This is the best time to get a console, I understand. Don't forget about the YouTubers and content creators that need this console. Sure, if you're a very popular creator, then $10,000 is not going to hurt you much. But there's a lot of budget creators like me. I really want a PlayStation or an Xbox, but I have to wait now and stuff, and I can't afford that stuff. But once again, I don't really have YouTube as a career, but I see this guy's point, and I do somewhat agree with it, but honestly, these type of people should not exist, especially around this time. So
yes, when scalpers do scalp in the huge quantities that they've been doing now, it does mean that yes, they are creating artificial demand. But again, if gamers said no, and if parents who did not want to spoil their bratty little kids who asked for a PlayStation 5, and instead of saying, well, Santa will get you a PlayStation 5 for Christmas, maybe they should say, that's not going to be a guarantee. You might have to wait a little longer for PlayStation 5. What else would you like in case the PlayStation 5 is not available? I mean, if there was an attitude of that more often, scalping would be pointless. The reason scalping exists, whether it be for PS5s or Xbox Series X or iPhones or heck, even the Microsoft Surfaces, when they first came out, they were scalped and they were sold at a huge premium, and most people agreed that those Surface RT units weren't very good to begin with. But if there were not people willing to spend this kind of money for these products, this problem would go away. It would especially go away if in combination with gamers and tech lovers saying, nope, I'm not going to pay scalpers for inflated prices, if the retailers would find alternate ways so that bots could not be used, and if the suppliers would figure out that they know they don't have enough supply to meet demand and they either delay the product till there's more supply or vice versa, combined, this could end the scalping problem. But don't blame scalpers, because they're just trying to make money too. In fact, full disclosure, I'm trying to get a PlayStation 5 right now, and I'm going to tell you right now, if I do get a PlayStation 5 before Christmas and they're still selling for these prices, of course I'm going to sell the system. I would gladly have someone else pay me money so that I can have my system next year if they want to have it so badly now. I know that's not a popular opinion, but hey, it's mine. I would like to know what your opinion is. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe.
So, in conclusion, on what this guy has been saying is that he is, well, I'm not saying he's supporting it. He's just saying, well, they can do this and that's how they make money. But the thing is, this is very evil and very immoral because a lot of people are trying to get these consoles. And yes, there are ways against it, and we should implement those strategies. There's some stuff I agree with this guy, and also there is some stuff I don't agree with this guy. But at the end of the day, like he said at the end of this video, that's his opinion, that's my opinion. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this 30-minute long video, alright? And once again, please do not send hate to any of these people because we have a different opinion, alright? Let's all be civilized in the comments and, you know, all that stuff, alright? At the end of the day, I don't hate this guy, and I don't hate the, Scalpers, alright? Alright? Even though that they're scammers and stuff, and all that stuff. And if you're a scalper, please just stop. What you're doing is very messed up. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. See ya. Peace.